Today I'm going to show you how to restore this plant stand. I've already repaired that. There was a crack and there was no way to glue it back together where it matched up. The wood had shrunk so much that it was impossible to do, so what I ended up doing is putting in wood putty, and I had to paint that part of it white. And the bottom is natural and it's oak. Really nice piece, so let's get started. Someone had glued this previously and I want to remove all of that old glue. Wood glue adheres best to bare wood. No paint, no stain. Stain's not so bad because it doesn't really seal the surface. But polyurethane, lacquer, or glue, old glue, you want to remove all of that and get that surface as clean as you can get it. Give that glue a chance to adhere and soak right into the pores. This is oak, which is a pretty porous wood. I want to get as much of that off as I can. Then get that glue off of there. I want to go over all the surfaces with sandpaper just to kind of rough up that surface and get the glue to grab. And I've disassembled the plant stand, and now we'll put it back together. This is the top piece of the table, and I ended up painting this because what had happened is the wood had cracked here and actually shrank, and there was no way I could clamp it back together, so what I ended up doing was shaving that down a bit with a chisel and then filling that in with wood glue, and the only way to hide it was to paint it. I hated to do it. I liked the look of the wood, bare wood, but this is what the bare wood and what the cover used to look like, but didn't have much of a choice. So the top is going to be white, and then all the other wood is going to be, it seems like there's a polyurethane on this. So what I'm going to do is I want to sand this real small piece of sandpaper. Allows me to get down inside. I want to rough up all these surfaces that I'm going to be gluing to. I removed any large chunks of glue, and this surface is also going to be glued. Here is the bracket where the dowel rods, well, they're actually spindles. This is one of the spindles, and that'll go into there. These will fit or go, actually. This was all assembled when I found it, but it was really wiggly and falling apart. So these will go here. So there's going to be a glue surface down here and all the way across here, which would be here, and then here. Here, there's actually a ridge there, so it's not going to be much there. So what I'll do is sand this surface also. And there's 4 of them on this top piece. I'll sand all those, and then actually I want to sand this. And this surface. It's cleaned up and roughed up. Then I'll glue that in there, and there's 4 of these go around, evenly spaced around. and get those glued in, and then I can glue in the spindles. These are the legs for down on the very bottom, and those fit into here. There's a hole there and a dowel rod here, and these go together like that, and then the spindles go into here. So I have to figure out if I need to assemble that all at once. I'll have to see. I think what I'll do is I'll dry fit everything and see how it goes together. Got this sanded, wiped everything off, get the dust off this piece too. So now I'm ready to glue. And I'm using wood glue. It's the little bit yellowish color to it. Used it for years. Stuff works great for wood. Different glues are designed and work best on different applications, and I have found wood glue to work very good. And generally, if your surface is nice and clean and you get good adhesion, generally the glue won't fail. The wood will. The wood will break rather than the glue joint if it's a really strong joint. Now this problem with this is I'm gluing here where the stick is end grain, and generally you don't get good adhesion with end grain. It works better on side grain, which this is, the grain's running this way. Here the grain's running this way, so this is end grain. Don't get the greatest glue joints on end grains. But here, this situation, don't have much of a choice. Hopefully, this part will have the most strength. I'm going to put a layer of glue down here too. I get enough on there. And here, cover this joint too. And being this is the bottom of the table, the plant stand, you don't want to make a big mess, get any over on this side, but on this side, you're not going to see it, so you can get plenty on there. A really good glue joint. I don't want this coming apart again. That should be sufficient. Now, this in place. And if you wiggle it back and forth, it kind of spreads out the glue and you can actually feel it tighten up. So it's kind of something. Gotta make sure I get this right position. That looks good. Now I'm going to take a clamp, clamp this together. Oops. I want that to move. Oh, that's not going to work. I need to move the clamp so the weight is on this left side. It wants to wiggle down. Get that clamp down as far down as I can. Something's not right there. Maybe that is. This is just a little bit. This angle's a little bit off. Can't change that. I just want to make sure this was on there tight. So put the clamp back on. There we go. And I'll let that set 24 hours they recommend. You can check your glue bottle and follow those directions. I don't see anything on how long, but a few hours clamping. If you can let it sit for 24 hours, all the better. But check your glue bottle and see. But I've had good luck with leaving it clamped for 24 hours. Gives you the best glue joint. I've let this dry overnight. Let's see how it turned out. Oh yeah, geez, really tight. So now I'll glue on the other three, and then I think I'll do a dry run as far as assembling and see how things go together to see if I have to glue it all at once or if I can do it in sections. We'll see. We got these 4 braces glued on and the spindles in, and I'm going to have to assemble this all at one time, so it's going to be tricky. I'm going to glue these dowel rods that are inside here first, then come up here and attach the legs. I'm going to go like this, and then the shelf will go in here. Oh, it's going to be tricky. I may have to get an extra set of hands. We'll see what happens here. I was able to get it together. It wasn't easy, but it didn't go as bad as I thought it would. Put clamps on to hold these legs. That's going to go. I gotta pound this one down a little bit. There's a gap there. There we go. I twisted the spin a little bit and I pounded down on this leg and it took that gap out. So I use wood glue and I'm going to let it dry for a day so everything will be nice and solid, and we'll see how it looks. Let this dry for 24 hours. Take the clamps off. And looks great. Yeah, really like it. Well, that's the finished product. Check out my other videos. Leave subscribe, like, share, leave a comment below. Have a great day.